now on the season. Like, I'm the lap dog because I'm a super loyal person and I'm a loyal friend. And if that's what that means, then I guess I'm a lap dog, because what you're not going to do is talk trash about my people and not expect me to speak about it and speak up on it. And I brought that information back to Porsha, as I would think I want her to do for me. Like, hey, girl, this is what they said. Like, I told them they should get to know you for yourself. You know, they were like, oh, you know, how you let your friend steal that lady's husband. I'm like, yo, this is how these new girls are coming. I'm just giving you a heads up so you know. And it was like, it's all that's being turned around. Like, you're being messy and talking about your friend.
Now, is Porsha a different Porsha outside of Housewives than she is on Housewives? You're her friend, so you would know that. Well, you know, y'all have known each other for a while.
I think that on the show, she can kind of like close up and not be as vulnerable and open. But rightfully so. Like, sometimes on this platform, you get torn apart for being vulnerable and being open. It's like, oh, you should have did so. So it's like almost like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. So yeah, I do think that, you know, she's guarded in a sense. Yeah. Whereas if we're just one-on-one hanging out, it's like, it's whatever. I'm an open book and the sky's the limit, whatever. Like, but the show, of course, she's like, I'm gonna harness and hold back on some of this stuff because I don't want to be judged, or I don't want to feel, you know.
Do you feel like things changed after you got your peach?
Yeah.
Even more than before?
Yes, because now we're sharing this space and this spotlight, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You feel she's jealous?
Like, why would
I don't know that she's jealous. I don't want to say that, but I just feel like it's just different, because before I was just a friend of. Now it's like I have a mic on. Before, I would be at some of these events and no one would even know I was in the room, because, again, I'm just a friend of Porsha or a friend of Candy. And I may have an opinion on something, but you wouldn't know it because they didn't catch it. Whereas now it's like, oh, well, where did Shamea get this big voice from or this big personality from? Well, I've always been here. I just never got the opportunity to express it or show it. And like I said, back to Porsha, I just don't feel like in a real friendship, you have to, like, I don't want to say be guarded, but it's like, am I cool to say this? Like, we good? I don't want to out nothing, or I don't want to talk about something that you're not comfortable talking about or bring into this platform or bring into this space. Like, are we good? And so you're kind of like walking on eggshells. It's like, for the longest time, it's been her thing. And now this is our thing. And whereas before, as a friend of the show, it's like, hey, we ain't talking about this on show. Okay, cool. Now it's like, well, this is my personal life. You're my real friend. This is what it is. I'm open. I'm super open and rich in authenticity. Whatever I am is what I am on camera and off camera. So there's nothing off limits for you to talk about with me.
People would say, you know, in the comments that, you know, she didn't come up to your wedding. She came late to your birthday party.
She didn't come to the wedding in Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya.
And to be clear, I had one wedding.
Oh, okay. So you
and that was a wedding in Kenya.
And people would say that, you know, how did you feel that she didn't come? When she was up here, she said the reason she was late for your birthday is that she said it was traffic. She can't shoot in her house. She shot at her mom's house. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just
telling you what she said.
Okay.
All right. She said that she was in traffic. She couldn't shoot at her house, so she had to shoot at her mom's house. It was way across the other side, so it took a little extra time. So how did that make you feel when she missed both of those things as a best friend?
And see, that's the thing. When I speak on it, it's like I'm throwing shade at Porsha. And I should have forgiven her years ago. Okay, yeah, we moved on, but since I'm on this platform now, all of this stuff is coming back up, and I'm not bringing it up.
And that's what happens.
And I gotta talk about it, right? But so it's like I'm not on this Porsha tour of just trying to slander Porsha and shame her. Like, that's not what this is about. But the reality is, yes, she did miss my wedding in Kenya, and yes, it was hurtful, and we talked about it, and we've moved past it, but. Again, that's one of the things that the ladies bring up on the show. Like, oh, it feels like your friendship is lopsided. She didn't come to your wedding. She didn't do this. And I'm constantly having to defend it. And in return, she's listening like, you talking about me to these other girls. I'm like, no, actually, these girls are bringing you up to me, talking about how you're not a good friend. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff happens. It's the real deal. Like, I didn't make this up. I didn't tell her to come late, or she showed up when she showed up. It looked how it looked. I don't have any control of that.
But you also know your friend, right? Like, so you know her. Like, you know.
Right.
You know Porsha don't like to be around a lot of people. You know she's a Cancer. She's a homebody. So being that you know her, you don't give her a little bit more grace? Like,
I do.
You know her better than them girls.
I do. And that's what I'm saying. So even when she came late, I was like, it's what it is. It's cool. I've downplayed everything, which is why they think I'm a lapdog, because they like, why do you keep giving her this grace? You should speak up about it. You should say something about it. And I'm like, it's whatever. But then on the same token, she's a homebody and she's an introvert, but she also shows up for other people's things.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So